this week on NWA about the NWA World Title. What's your thoughts about that, Dory?
I have a personal way of conducting my life, and in the wrestling ring and everywhere else, and I really think that the professional thing to do is to always build up what you're doing, and I really don't condone tearing down something else to try to make yourself look good. This incident that you're talking about came up probably 2 or 3 weeks ago, was it? Mm-hmm. And some derogatory remarks were made about the NWA Championship and the people who have held it recently, I believe in the last 7 years. But I'll still stand on the fact that that you're a whole lot better off if you have to build yourself up, or let other people talk about you. But to tear something down to build yourself up doesn't really accomplish a whole lot. That's my personal...
Specific, you want to mention that...
Was Jack Briscoe.
Jack Briscoe?
Sure, I couldn't say anybody else. He was the man that Eddie Graham trained and inspired here in Florida. I used to come in out of Texas, and I used to travel through this part of the country very often, and it seemed like every time I came through here, Jack Briscoe was the one who would work his way to the top, and he was the one that I'd be facing. And the promoters of championship wrestling used to try to figure out different people for me to wrestle, because when I'd come into town, they would want to have different matches in each town in the Florida area here in championship wrestling for Florida, and the people wanted that match so much that finally I came here one time, and championship wrestling from Florida had me booked in every single town for every night against Jack Briscoe.
Thanks for being on. Peace. It's great to have you on. I've been trying to get you on for a long time, and it's great to have such a superstar as yourself.
Well, I just want to say that it's nice to be sitting inside a man such as Dory Funk.
Well, for those of you that are familiar with Johnny Smith, and Tom Zink, of course, just recently competed in WCW, and Johnny Smith is related to the British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith.
Right.
And he's been wrestling for many years, competing with Stampede Wrestling. And what has happened over on the tour? Was there anybody else? Who else wrestled on the tour along with you?
Well, I think really John here and Steve Williams did a pretty good job of establishing themselves as not one of the favorites, as the favorite team for the upcoming World League Tag Team Tournament.
Absolutely.
In which I'll be involved in the tournament myself. But he and Steve are considered favorites along with several other people.
Well, if I remember correctly, Junior, you went undefeated for 4 weeks. Dory Funk Jr. did not lose one match in 4 weeks, and I watched every one of them.